In today's calisthenics workout, I'm working towards a planche and a front lever, and I'm also going to be doing some shrimp squats. But today is a deload workout. It is the last workout for week 5 this year in 2024, which means I'm only doing 40% volume, and I'm really looking forward to it because everything is sore today. It's been another good week of training. I am definitely in need of some recovery. So that's the idea with a deload workout. When you deload, you do much less volume. In my case, I do 40% volume. So you give your body the chance to recover. And I'm just doing a little bit of trigger point release here on my glutes. Oh, that is tender. Ooh. Trigger point release is a great way to manage tight muscles, muscle soreness, muscle spasms. And for me, I do it every day. It's like a prevention tool for me. I used to use it as a reactive thing when if I got a muscle spasm, or if I was in a lot of, if I was all locked up and I needed to go and get a sports massage or see the chiropractor, then I'd do some trigger point release. But I learned that a much better way to do it is to just do it as a preventative method, So doing it before you get to those points. All right. So you just find the general area of where you're feeling sore and tight, and then you just, find, oh, there it is. You just got to find the angle where you can apply as much pressure as you can on the physio ball. Oh, ooh, when you get a good one like this, oh, it's brutal. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of release on my shoulder today as well. So, I had a slap tear in both my shoulders, and this one has been playing up a bit lately. I think I might have torn a few muscles a couple of weeks ago, and I've just had to adjust my training for it. It's getting better, almost back to normal. Although when you've had a slap tear, normal is never what it was before the slap tear. The slap tear is always there if you got a scan, because the labrum really just doesn't heal very well. But you can still perform at a high level, and you can still live a relatively pain-free life and regain most of your mobility, by doing good strength training. And so that's what I work towards. So even when I did this, I didn't get it diagnosed. It wasn't bad enough. I didn't go anywhere and have a look, but I know enough about the shoulder to presume that I did some minor tears in some of the rotator cuff muscles. But I didn't lose any range of motion, so I was able to keep training. And I think that's where people go really wrong with injury, because we don't know this stuff, right? Like, if you hadn't had the access to really good sports physios that I did when I did my slap tears, I wouldn't know this, what I'm about to share with you. But sports physios for top athletes in Australia, top football clubs, have told me, so these are friends of mine that have, when I ask them what happens with athletes when they get a slap tear, so they have to go and get surgery straight away, and they say absolutely not. They say we basically, if they can continue training, if they can do the exercises that are required to rehabilitate the shoulder, then you don't get surgery. You do the exercises, you strengthen the system, and you keep going. You get back out there. And I think people sort of default to, people they get an MRI, the MRI, or a CT scan or whatever it is, and it says they've got a slap tear. They go to a doctor. The doctor says you need to go and see a specialist, and the specialist says you should see a surgeon, and the surgeon says you should get surgery. And at no stage in that process did anybody ever say, all right, let's try and make it as strong as possible, and let's see how you go over the next 6 months. Get out there, get into the gym and start working out 3, 4, 5, 6 days a week. Do the best that you can do to make it better, and then we'll talk again. And I can tell you from personal experience, from having a slap tear in each shoulder, and then from using the exact same process that I did myself on many, many people around the world in our UMS tribe membership, that it works. And I'm not saying everybody would not have to get surgery. I'm sure, of course, there are some cases where it's so bad that people would need to get surgery. But surgery should be the last option, not the first option, because you can't undo surgery. And here's a fun fact from my friends who are sports physiotherapists working in top football clubs in Australia. When people get surgery for a slap tear, I can't remember the exact statistic, but I'm pretty sure it was in 60% of cases, the symptoms do not get better and even get worse. So wrap your head around that. I also heard another statistic a few years ago. In football clubs over in England or Europe, so soccer for the rest of us in America and Australia, a really common injury in football players is a torn ACL, so the anterior cruciate ligament. My brother actually did the same injury and got surgery for it. And they did 3 groups. They did a study. And in the first group, they did the surgery and they told them they got the surgery. In the second group, they put incisions where they would do the surgery. They didn't do the surgery, and they told them that they didn't do the surgery. And in the third group, they put incisions where they would do the surgery, didn't do the surgery, but told them that they did get the surgery. And the group that had the best result was the third group. The people that didn't get the surgery, but were told they did get the surgery. And the results were so impressive that they no longer perform ACL reconstructive surgery on football players, on professional football players over in England or Europe. Isn't that incredible? Because they've found that as important as the anterior cruciate ligament is, they have better results of people getting back to playing that don't have surgery. Surgery it's often, it's got its place. I've had surgery in my foot. I had a complete rupture of a ligament called the Lisfranc ligament in my right foot 25 years ago. And my big toe was just going like that because it wasn't held onto the rest of the foot. And I got surgery on that. So I'm not saying, don't ever get surgery. But shoulders, slap tears, my personal experience, you can absolutely do a lot without getting surgery. And I know a lot. I'm working with people who have had surgery and it just hasn't made it better. And at the end of the day, even if you get surgery, you still have to strengthen the system. You still have to make yourself as strong as possible if you want to live a pain-free life, and if you want to get back to rock climbing or get back to martial arts or get back to, weightlifting in the gym, whatever it is that you love to do, you're going to have to make yourself strong and flexible to be able to do that. Surgery doesn't do that for you. So, yeah. Long story, but anyway. Yeah, so a couple of weeks ago, a couple of minor tears, bit of pain in my shoulder, so I just had to adjust my workouts and play on, really. Just keep going. And so I do, there's a few things that I do to just, like this, what I'm about to do now, to just switch on my rotator cuff in my warm-up. So this is this is actually a rotator cuff strengthening exercise, but it's a very advanced one. You don't start with this. There's much easier ones that you start with, but I use it at the moment as an activation exercise to get my rotator cuff working before I do my workout. And then same with this one. This is like just a modified part of a Turkish get-up. You'd be amazed what you can do with an injured shoulder, a traumatic injury, if you actually start doing the right exercises and following a good program and something that actually is proven to work and that uses progressive overload and periodization. You'll be amazed at what you can achieve. Ah. Ah. Let's get this one set done. And that's all she wrote. That is my week of training done. I'll see you in tomorrow's recovery session.